everybody, it's Mimi. Thanks so much for tuning in again today. Today I have
Shy,
our model, and today we're basically focusing on contouring medium to dark skin. So stay tuned. Okay, so Shy has oily skin, so we're going to use a Prime Time by Bare Minerals, and this is basically original, so it goes with all skin types. So I'm going to have her add this to her skin first. Put your hand out. I'm going to do a nice pea-size amount. She's going to rub that right into her face. I actually chose to wear the Avon BB cream, which is kind of like a anti-perspirant cream that is tinted. So she uses this basically because she does get shiny and oily throughout the day. So this is what we're going to use for foundation. You want to make sure that you really drag your liquid foundation down towards the neck. Okay, our next step, we're going to kind of use this orange tone here. Basically cancels out darker spots on the face. So I'm just going to take a little bit of it and just get it on the spots that we need to conceal out that are more darker, like around the mouth, under the eye a little bit, which is more so in her inner eye. Next, I'm just going to take some concealer and just go right over the spots where we put the orange tone, just to conceal all that out.
I'm not mad. You're just mad because, you know, you're trying to get new friends, and I'm not okay with that. I'm not jealous, though. Not jealous.
But he's been around. Like, we've been friends since, like, 2015.
And we've been friends since, like, 2009. Was it longer than that?
I think it's like 2010.
Was it? Oh yeah, I didn't like you in 2009. No.
Oh God. Now I'm going to add our powder foundation, which is just going to kind of tone down any shininess that we still have left and add a little bit more full coverage. Next, we're going to add our highlight underneath the eyes. So basically we're going to put this on first before we add our setting powder. Look straight up for me. This is just going to highlight those areas that we need to pop out the face. So now we're finally focusing on contouring and bringing her face out and adding some depth to the cheeks. So I switched brushes just because the sponge was a little bit too light for the density of the product. So we're just going to go straight up and stay right in the inner part of her eyes. You don't want to go out too far. Kind of want to keep the center of her face highlighted. I'm also going to highlight a little bit in the nose area, a little bit on the chin also, and the forehead also. So before I blend the rest of this out, I just want to kind of explain what we're doing in depth a little bit more. With brown skin, you definitely want to focus more on the highlighting than the contouring. You want to contour last because you're already deep toned. Now I'm just going to carve out around the areas where we put the highlight. Now we're going to add our setting powder to the highlighted areas. Next, we're going to start on eyebrows. So I'm going to line the brows first and then fill them in with our brow gel. Now we're adding brow pomade, and we're just gonna go right above that line that we already drew and just fill in the brows. Now we're going to start sculpting around the brows, and I'm just going to add the concealer. Just priming the eyelids for our eyeshadow in a little bit. So we're gonna use a little bit of color, so we want to make sure that the eye kind of pops, so that the color will pop too. Now before we conceal the top of the brows, I'm just going to finish filling them in a little bit, creating the tail of the brow. Now I'm going to conceal the top of her brows. Now I'm just going to dust the powder off. Now when you have a lighter cast, you just go ahead and blend in with a little bit more of your first powder. That'll take kind of the white tone down a little bit more. I always like to take a little bit of mascara and just kind of like feather in the middle a little bit. Now that everything is dusted off, I'm just going to tone it down a little bit with a little bit more of our powdered foundation. Just a little bit, you don't want to overdo it. And just blend everything down. I'm just going to blend out our contour. Now we're just going to take a little bit of our setting powder and just go right on the jawline and leave that there for a little bit. Just going to go ahead and take our regular foundation and just start tying everything together and just blending everything out. Now we're just going to take that setting powder and dust that off around the jawlines. Now I'm just going to take a little teeny tiny bit of blush on the apples of the cheek, and I'm just going to like dab it right on the apples of the cheek. I add a little bit of highlight, so go like this for me, like as that, right on the cheekbone area. Now we're moving on to eyeshadow, and I'm just going to prime it with our white eyelid primer right at the base of her eye and blend that out. And I'm going to start with this tone here. So this purple is the second tone we're going to use. Basically right where we ended, we're going to keep that right in the center. So I already applied lashes, so the next step we're going to do is apply our liquid liner. Okay, so next we're going to add our glitter to the inner corner. So I'm going to just go ahead and prime the inner corners. Now I'm going to add mascara on the bottom lashes. So I'm going to add eyeliner. In our final step, we're going to do lips. Okay everybody, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching our tutorial. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you guys know when I upload new videos. And I'll see you guys next time.